If you're an Avatar fan, the best time to be an Avatar fan was definitely this weekend. Why? Well, we got the first look of the Netflix Avatar live action series, but we're going to be going over even more information. This is stuff the last video didn't cover. It's regarding the episode titles. They got leaked, and after we get into that, I want to go over the community response, as I wasn't able to do that in the last video either. Episode 1 is The Last Airbender. That's the title. It's very simple, but it makes a lot of sense considering we're beginning. All these episodes are 1 hour. We've got 8 of them, and we're going to be merging many of these episodes together. So episode 1, 2, and 3 from the original series is going to be merged right into episode 1, which makes a lot more sense. It's harder for people to be hooked on the show with just episode 1, and to an extent episode 2 up until the Avatar state scene. Episode 3 is really where people get hooked. They love the Zuko moment. They love Aang at the Southern Air Temple and the story going on there and seeing how deep this world can get. So the first 3 episodes being 1 is perfect for new fans. But when it comes to episode 2, this is Warriors. Obviously, it's Kiyoshi Warriors. It's pretty easy to guess. I'm just happy Kiyoshi Warriors get a dedicated episode because 1, the Shyamalan movie completely cut them out. And 2, we kind of need that because Kiyoshi herself is going to be in this series as a major role. She's going to be a huge mentor for Aang. We're going to see probably him in the Avatar state talking to her or something along those lines. The next episode's really good as well, but it does kind of confuse me a little bit because episode 3 is Omashu, and this episode just feels more like a one-off. It doesn't really feel like it deserves an entire episode given a title for it. So to me, there's a potential that they could mix and match elements from season 1 and 2. Obviously, we returned to Omashu in season 2, and I feel like elements from that could be merged to this episode. We'd see the first half of this episode, Aang goes through all the trials with Bumi. He learns it's Bumi, and he reconnects with him. And then maybe halfway through, we see Azula. She's been sent out to get Mai and Ty Lee, and they go to Omashu. That's like the first thing they do. Here we see Aang, Katara, and Sokka fight against the other 3. I feel like it'd be interesting to merge the 2 together because Azula and her crew have been hyped up as having such a big presence in season 1, even though they're big in season 2. And this could be just them at the tail end of season 1, but honestly, it feels like something more is going on. But when it comes to episode 4, this is the biggest mystery in the entire Avatar community, but some believe that this is going to be a jet episode right before the winter solstice instead of after. They're switching around the timeline just a little bit, and some people are out there saying that they think Haru has been completely cut and that his story isn't important enough to include in this live action adaptation. There are some characters that we know are probably not going to be in there, like Bado and Jongjong. Jongjong hasn't really been talked about, even though I believe this casting right here might be Jongjong, but we'll have to see later on. When it comes to episode 5, this is actually Gio Wantio's favorite episode, and it is titled Spirited Away. This is probably going to be parts 1 and 2 of the winter solstice episode. We'll probably see part 1, the first half of the episode with Heibai, and part 2 with Aang finally meeting Roku. Episode 6 is 100% the Blue Spirit, no doubt, since literally the title is Masks, but obviously the Blue Spirit goes hand in hand with the storm a little bit, so I would assume the first half is going to be the storm, and then we'll end it off with the Blue Spirit in the second half of the episode. Now, episode 7 is titled The North, and many think it's probably just part 1 of the Northern Water Tribe finale, but I disagree here, because I think the first half of this episode, the gang's going to go to the Northern Air Temple. After that, they're going to make their way to the Northern Water Tribe, and that'll lead into the finale, which is Legends. This episode will obviously get the events playing out mostly as they have, but we're also going to get a huge focus on Avatar Kuruk. We obviously know Ko is in this episode, so we're probably going to see a standoff between Ko and Kuruk. And as I said earlier, the final few minutes might see Azula prepare for a season 2. Now, when it comes to the reactions from the Avatar community, the reactions are very mixed. Some fans out there liked what they saw, some of them felt like it was cosplay, and some of them simply just don't like live action in general. That's kind of general. What everyone was like before, that's kind of what they're like now, and that's what they're going to be like when the show comes out. And I'd say the same deal applies with some of the other Avatar YouTubers out there. I saw a few of them, they loved it. Some of them found it to be meh, kind of like a mixed bag in the middle. Some of them straight up called it a disappointment. And honestly, I lean towards the first one of it being absolutely amazing, but I do completely agree with everyone else's point of views though, because what we got was a little bit of a disappointment. That trailer wasn't exactly what everybody wanted. Also, it being delayed to 2024. Obviously, I listed the positives in the last video, but I also understand where people are coming from. The costumes, the world, they look a little too clean. I can understand that, but at the same time, I think we need to see real footage of Aang in action, getting into some fights, getting dirty, because I saw these same discussions in the One Piece community when the trailer dropped. People said that the far out cameras, they look like a dream world, and that close up, it looked like a real world you could live in. So I feel like the same thing will be with this live action. Some moments might not look the best, and other moments may look absolutely fantastic. Are you excited about these episodes? Are you excited about the series in general? Let's discuss it below.